It's a scary time. I mean, no, all joking aside, this is a very scary time. For history, I mean, for the world, it's a very scary time. Yeah.
All right. Thank you really for your film, for your movie. It's amazing. Every time I watch one of the movie I rise, I think we all do. And in 1979, I was 16-year-old, and I was the king of my living room, listening to that album. And I had a girlfriend, and I couldn't speak English. You know, she asked me for the first time to come home, and I said, well, Sandra, you have to do me a favor. And she goes, we're not going to go that way. I said, no, watch it. We have to listen to Michael Jackson of the Wall if you come home. And that's how we do. She came at noon, and she left at 6, and that's all we did. And because we love what we hear, every time she's out of my life was putting, when the song was on, we kissed. And your movie, it's amazing because it makes me feel the way I feel. It's amazing, that movie. That it's a strong movie, and I would like to thank you for that. I'm very nervous, I'm sorry.
Since we have a lot of questions, I urge you to keep the comments and questions very, very short so we can have a lot of them. We have some questions over there to IT after that. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello. Hi. Hello. Oh, wait. Okay. Well, I actually have a question. Throughout the film, I saw that you interviewed older and newer artists. So you had The Weeknd in there as well as Fabienne. I just want to know, how was your selection with the newer artists? Because I don't think most of them are doing much, and to ask them their opinion versus the older ones, how did you select the newer artists in this film?
Well, I think that it's evident that Michael Jackson has had a great impact on new artists. I mean, every day, a new generation is being exposed to Michael's music. It was not like Michael left us in his physical form and nobody born after that day is being impacted by Michael. So we wanted to show the breadth of the impact of his music. And I'm sorry you don't like The Weeknd. I'm just kidding. Donald Trump, was he running? What are you with? Well, that's enough.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Saiki. Hi.
Hello, I see you.
This is Hi from Algeria. I am very nervous. I have bad English, but I love it.
I felt that as a filmmaker, you showed a lot of restraint with this documentary. You showed the talking heads, and you showed the clip footage, and the subject matter was so strong. You really didn't need to do much to make it look flashy. It was such a strong subject that it really translated well. That being said, my question was, what went behind the decision to show such a beaten-up copy of Saturday Night Fever on the screen? I have a nicer copy at home, but
What kind of question? You want to ask my question?
We got it off eBay. And I was not mistaken. spend $1,000 on a business copy of Saturday Night Fever. I'm not gonna do it.
Yep. Okay.
What's the matter? Okay. Yes, go ahead, Ben.
Thank you so much for coming to Montreal, and Mr. Lee.
I got a question. Why they trade my man?
What did what?
Why did they trade my man?
Wait, my man?
That was straight up shenanigans. Subterfuge. Why they trade him? They trade him to do a race at least. How do you trade the face of the team? Who do you get in return? Who? What's the guy? What?
I didn't get it. I don't know if you said anything.
That was a sad day for sure.
Ah, okay.
What happens if too black, too strong?
There you go.
My reference is back to something that you just said about slavery being 246 years.
Oh, okay.
There's a book that has been published that is called Slavery in Any Other Name. And it says that slavery is literally 500 years in historical existence, and that there was slave labor as a result of the Jim Crow laws that went right up to 1960. And I was wondering, of all people to make a film about that period, would be you. I defied rationale that you could think that U.S. Steel was involved with slave labor right up until the 1960s. Were you aware?
He ain't the only one.
I think that is, to me, a revelation that I think everybody should know about.
True. Big business.
We have a
Big
question.
labor.
A question down there first.
Hi, Sophie.
Hello.
Again, welcome back to Montreal, so it's nice to have you here. I have a question about film specifically. You interviewed a tremendous amount of individuals for this film, but I noticed that other members of the Jacksons were not interviewed. There was a specific reason for that.
Family dynamics.
I kind of suspected, but wanted to hear what was going on. I'm just also curious, you stopped at this album in particular, Off the Wall, was it because it was a seminal album insofar as a change in Michael Jackson's musical progression, or?
I mean, it's very simple. These documentaries at times they come out with the re-release of the record. So Bad 25 came out for the 25th anniversary of the album. This one's dealing from Michael leaving Motown, getting his, starting Motown, getting his base, his foundation, then growing into adulthood. And the next one will be a thriller. After the thriller, I'm done. If it happens, I'm done. I get a trilogy, I'm out like Kevin Durant.
When would that be, Spike? Because we know that you're very busy right now with something. Not that it was a project in a way.
I got plenty of time to do stuff. And I want. So you make time. It's 24 hours time called time management.
Yeah.
A lot of people spend a lot of time not doing nothing.
Are you going to tell us a little bit about this?
But right now, then people does get ready to do a 10 episodes of She's Gonna Have It for Netflix.
For Netflix.
It's August 8th was the 30th anniversary of my first film, so the same characters, but in today. So, gentrified Fort Greene, Brooklyn.
Amazing, amazing. Yes, a lot of questions over there? Then we're gonna get back here.
Yes.
Hi. Press the switch. Oh.
Can you hear me now? My question is about pop culture and how it's a convergence of both reality and the imaginary, and therefore radical space. And what parallels you might draw between your own art practice and Michael Jackson's. And my second part of my question would be what your observations are on the current state of pop culture and what radical potential you envision there, particularly based on like your recent collaboration with Netflix.
I mean, I don't know if you really understand the question. Not trying to be, flippant. What I think of right away is the pop culture, the worst thing ever happened to humankind was reality TV. That's been a plague. And it's lower mentality, I mean, it's just the lowest of the low, and just see the worst of human beings in reality. The people who are subject to stuff, the most hideous stuff to be famous for that one show ever. It's really sad to me. The connection between me and Michael Jackson is, I'm a fan. I mean, I was born in 57, he was born in 58, Prince was born in 58, Madonna was born in 58. It was that's a good time because we were too young to be drafted in the Vietnam War, but we were still old enough to see all the shit that was happening in America with the Civil Rights Movement and the Vietnam War movement, and just a whole lot of stuff was happening, and great time to grow up, and absorb all that stuff.
The mic is up there?
Yes.
What's up, big brother Spike?
What's up?
From back in the day. So, as someone who sat in juniors with you in January, I just want to let you know, winner up here is Game of Thrones. So, if you think of moving up here, bring a jacket. But on the real, my question for you is, what did you learn about Michael Jackson during this film that you didn't know before?
Well, what got reinforced in this film, which started with just being a lifelong fan of Michael Jackson, is his work ethic. When the Godfather soul left us, before he left us, he passed the baton to Michael as the hardest working man in show business. And his work ethic is legendary. So is Kobe's. I mean, I find it, we had a screen, I forgot what it was, somebody asked me why was Kobe in it. And I just think that, I didn't think that was an intelligent question, first of all. I think that when you are a giant, a great, whatever field you are, you can appreciate, if you're a great painter, musician, singer, you can appreciate Michael Jordan. I mean, there's a pantheon of greats. Everybody's have to be in the same field to respect, game is the same thing. Game knows game. The great motherfuckers know who other great motherfuckers. They know. You recognize it. You see it. It doesn't have to be your field. And Kobe is up there. He says how much Michael influences him playing basketball. So I think I want to have people comment on Michael more necessarily singers and dancers. Yes.
Mr. Lee, first of all, thank you very much for coming to Montreal and bringing your beautiful film.
Thank you.
You made me feel really good.
I know for sure. After all that time, okay, you made me feel good. That's what you said. I want perform for people, make them feel good.
It was uplifting and inspiring. And my question for you is, in this room, probably there's a lot of artists, young artists and of other age, any age, who are trying to find their voice or finding that courage. And just if you had some words for them, and maybe talk about your very beginnings when you found your voice as an artist.
Well, very few people, young artists, develop their voice out the box. You know, something that you find and you continue to do your craft.
La deuxième question.
Where's the mic? Okay, over there.
Yes.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. First of all, congratulations on your body of work. I find that it's full of depth and richness, so thank you for that. It's a big legacy, and I think generations after you are going to have immense shoes to fill. My question is, between the moment where you started writing the scripts and just thinking of the concept behind the film and the end result, what is the difference between point A and the final cut? Can you walk us through the journey with creating process?
Of a documentary or a feature film?
The film today.
Excuse me? Well, the thing about a documentary, you have to really be as a documentary filmmaker, you have to be a detective. You have to go out there and find footage. You have to have great research people who will put the material in front of you so you can make choices. If you don't have material, you know, it makes it less work. And if you don't pick good people to interview, if you don't ask the right questions, you got sometimes get to probe stuff out of people. And people like talking to me. I'm able to get sometimes people who don't necessarily do interviews. But it's discovery, you know, you discover stuff, you find stuff that you've seen footage, you thought you might have never thought seen everything, you've seen stuff that you didn't see. And another thing that's great is that since this comes from Michael Jackson's estate, we have access to all Michael's papers. The thing like Karen read that thing where he read, I mean, that's not made up. This stuff is from Michael's art. He wrote with pen, not a computer, pen, the paper, and his own handwriting. And it shows, it's another example to me of, you gotta write shit down. Affirmation, you know, you wanna do something, you have a goal, write that shit down. Write it down. Like people ask me now, when did I know I wanted to be a filmmaker? I know that till I was in college. But I have a notebook, in 34th grade, I should have been writing down what the teacher's saying, but all I'm doing was practice my autograph. I know it was going to be 4, I know what I was going to do. But I was practicing my autograph. In fifth, I forgot what grade it was. Just writing again and again and again and again and again.
Hey, Spot, what's up, man? How you doing? Man, the film was excellent.
Thank you.
Yo, I have 2 quick questions. I can stay in Chicago, and are you planning on having any more movies that you're gonna make in Chicago?
I'm leaving Chicago alone for a while.
Okay. And my second part is, I'm actually a personal trainer, so I'll tell you for free, I'm the best.
What's my personal trainer's name?
Okay, I'm the second best then.
You said you met him.
Huh?
You say you met him?
Oh, no, I'm saying I'm the best personal trainer, but you said yours is here now, so I'm the second best then. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you very much, sir.
A couple more.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
This is Spike Lee. Congratulations, because the movie was really inspiring. And also, I would like to extend my condolences to the Whitfield nun.
Yeah. For those who don't know, he referred to the late great Bill Nunn, fine actor. You might know him best as Ray Rahim for Do the Right Thing in the past.
My question is, throughout the documentary, I noticed that the Jacksons were the forefront of what will come the commercialization of music group. And what we saw...
They're the what? The forefront?
I mean, what I meant is...
The Beatles were way before the Jacksons.
No, I mean, how...
You said the Jacksons are the forefront of the musical group.
No, I mean, the commercialization, I mean, how did you commercialize, I mean, how...
The Beatles were first.
They were first?
Yes.
Okay, because...
Google!
So what are you trying to say? What is your question? What is your question?
Okay, what I was trying to say is that I was wondering if the arrival of Michael as a solo artist with Off the Wall was the beginning of the decline of Motown Records, especially with the
No, they had done 2 albums. They had done 2 albums before Off the Wall.
Thank you. We need the mic to be brought here in the middle because there's 2 ladies that have been wanting to ask questions, and then over there. Wait a minute, we'll get there. So in the meantime, go ahead.
Hi. I thought one of the amazing moments of the film was kind of where Coral was talking about, there will be people that only have had Obama as president in the States. And we're getting to a generation where there will be people that were not alive when Michael was alive. Like, I'm lucky enough to have listened to the albums when they were starting, where they were coming out in later periods. And it's really important, so I think there's something really interesting with the fact that there will be the coming generations that will never really know Michael in his essence. And I think everybody here agrees, and you would agree, there's nobody that will ever replace Michael or what he's done. But my question to you is, who do you think potentially in there coming out now or could be somebody who could change the world the way Michael did, or in a different way? Or if you see anything like that in our generation now for our future generations?
Not my lifetime.
Yes, in the middle.
Hi, good evening, guys.
Hello.
Hi. Well, I would like to say first and foremost that one of my favorite movies is She Hate Me. I really like this movie.
You're the only one?
I don't believe so, no. And my question regarding this documentary here, while you were doing, I guess, your extensive research, did you feel at any moment that somewhat Michael Jackson had an aching soul? He was maybe sad. We saw those portraits of him, these pictures, where he seemed to be sad or lonely. What do you think about that, or what did you discover about him? Yeah.
Well, those pictures that were taken when Mike was sad were at the point in his life where he had left Motown. It's like you're leaving home, you're leaving your father, you're leaving your family, and going to unknown territory. But I don't think Michael was sadder or lonely than any of us. He went through many different things. I didn't know him personally, we worked together. But I think that his joyful life is demonstrated in his music and his performing. Because I just can't believe that, this is mine, I just can't believe a person who's sad all the time life sucks can just totally flip a switch on stage and be the complete opposite. That what you see on stage has to come from somewhere.
Well, his ambition, or maybe he was surrounded by so many people, but he could.
I can't speak on that. I mean, that's conjecture. What we see in his songs and performance is, to me, that's evidence of what I feel. Yes.
As I was watching the film, it was like a film script of my childhood, and each song, brought back different memories from as I was growing up. And I wonder if you have that experience listening to his music, and what kind of your most salient memory growing up with his music is.
I mean, music is a trigger. I mean, you can hear a song, and depending on the song, you can remember the first time you heard it, or so music brings back a ton of memories.
Somebody up there, and then the gentleman over there, I've been raising his hand for a long, long time. Yes, go ahead, and then the gentleman over there.
It's to him.
How you doing?
How you doing? You said music is a trigger, right? And something else that is a trigger is sports and reality things that are triggers, right? And as a fellow New Yorker, so a little bit more personal question, as a fellow New Yorker, it's been a hard time for a long time. There's another Jackson in New York who's getting paid $12 million a year. Take away the questions. We can't even get a look from Durant. What's going on?
You talking about the Knicks? We'll be good this year. All right, laugh if you want to. You got a basketball team.
You have to point the guy. It's not a deep question. It's a deep question. Point the guy who's handling the mic.
I got love for Montreal. Don't get it twisted. Yes, sir.
Yeah, big up this white kid from Jamaica. My name is Arnold George Cole the first from Montreal, Manchester. And I've traveled a long, long way for this moment. And I knew 3 birds came to me in Jamaica and said, one day you and I will have a discussion. And
how long is the discussion going to be?
It's all figured out. It's all figured out. Thank you, my brother. The fact is, in 1979, when Off the Wall came out, I was living in a place called Frobisher Bay, Northwest Territories. And that changed my life. And when your movie came out, Do the Right Thing, I moved to Montreal, and that changed my life. So basically, what I wanted to say to you is that you, Spike, have been a major influence on my life. And Do the Right Thing definitely changed me in many, many ways. Right now, I'm a very productive individual. I went through some major struggles with mental health and so forth, but now I have a very successful company, and it all has a lot to do with you, because I remember when you were trying to get your funding for Do the Right Thing, and how you went about it, and I went about it the same way, and now I can say I'm here to personally thank you for your influence, because
Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we could have spent a whole night here, but Spike has to go back to work. And that was such a pleasure.
You got my man right there.
I mean, yeah. So we're gonna be like that, and then Spike gonna be just like here. Please move like here, and then all the photographers like here, and then all the photographers. Let's do it. Your hands up in the air, please.
stepping on me. Hey, you're stepping. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
I'm stopping.